Yo, what up people, it's your buddy Philko here reporting live from your mama's house, doing something new from what I usually do, making a list of the top 5 most gritty, actually I'm gonna call it the top 5 most disrespectful diss tracks in history. The most disrespectful ones, the most gritty, the most foul language, the most just not giving a fuck about the person you're talking about, just talking down on them in the most disrespectful way possible. Now, Cannabis, Second Round KO is not going to be on this list. It is my favorite diss track of all time, 100%, but it's not that disrespectful. He's just going at it lyrically, you know. Maybe if I do a top 5 lyrical diss tracks, that will be number 1, but this is about the most disrespectful diss tracks in history. The ones that people just like, oh, I can't believe he said that. Why would he say that now? About his wife? For real? Yeah, this is it. So let's get to it. Let's start from number 5, and of course, we'll make our way to number 1. Number 5, 50 Cent's How to Rob. Now, 50 Cent's How to Rob, y'all know that shit was groundbreaking. A new rapper coming out dissing lots and lots of other rappers, dozens of other famous rappers, a lot of them going after how much they weigh. He made fun of Fat Joe's weight, Missy Elliott's weight. He talked about robbing Puff Daddy, because back then P. Diddy was known as Puff Daddy. He talked about robbing ODB. All these people, he just got on them with no care in the world. He even got on Jay-Z. And of course, Jay-Z made a response during one show they had, Summer Jam, which was pretty interesting. You can learn more about that in the rap documentary Beef 1. But this was groundbreaking. You know, a lot of people tried to do similar things after 50 Cent did it. But since he made this rap track, this diss track, dissing all those other rappers, no other rapper has come out with anything near as good when it comes to dissing other rappers at random. And it was very dangerous because at the time, you know, hip-hop was a more volatile place than it is now. You know, back then, the odds of you getting shot over a rap beef were much higher than it is nowadays. Nowadays, it's more about, you know, wearing tight pants and looking cool in ways that, you know, back in the day looked kind of gay, just to be honest. But in that time, it was real dangerous to do those things, but like 50 Cent cared. 50 Cent said he didn't care. He didn't give a fuck. You know, he was facing the same shit he was going through back at home, so why not just face it here in the rap industry? So that was number 5, 50 Cent, How to Rob. Now let's get to number 4. Boogie Down Productions, The Bridge is Over. Now, I'm sure a lot of you know about this one. This one started when apparently some dudes from the Bronx, you know, Boogie Down Productions, KRS-One, thought that people from Queensbridge Projects more specifically, thought that they started hip-hop, that hip-hop started in Queensbridge. That's how KRS-One and his boy took it. But generally, I don't really know which side is true. I don't know if the Queensbridge people were saying it started there, MC Shan, or he was just saying that's where he started, MC Shan himself. Like, this is where we started, hip-hop. Or was he saying this is where hip-hop started, we started it here in Queensbridge, something like that. But I'm not sure. But either way, KRS-One, Boogie Down Productions, they took it the wrong way and he went at him. He went at him with The Bridge is Over. It was a big smash hit for back then and that time. He even did some other artists. This one girl, he did Roxanne Shante Is Only Good for Steady Fucking or Steady Pumping. I believe it is in a steady version. Now what's crazy about that is I don't even know how old she was, Roxanne Shante, when he made that diss. I don't even know how old she was, but she was young. But he still made that diss at that time. So that was something new. Disrespecting such a young girl like that with a sexual diss at that time was a little mind-blowing itself, because a lot of people didn't see that coming. They thought he would just go at MC Shan, but he went at her as well, and I believe some other artists as well, if you go listen to the track. So that's The Bridge is Over. It was grimy because it kind of put the Bronx against Queens, you know what I mean? Even though a lot of Queens people were riding with the Bronx people because the music was so good, and there was a lot of internal beef with the dudes from Queensbridge anyway, because some of them were going with fucking the Boogie Down Production. They were going with KRS-One. You know, that shit was pretty insane. Now, that one, I don't believe any injuries or any shootings or anything resulted from it, but it's possible. I just don't know, alright? Now let's get to number 3. Take it over to the West Coast. Ice Cube, No Vaseline. Holy shit. This would be number 1 if it weren't for the next 2 tracks, but I'm telling you, this track was so disrespectful. I can go over so many quotes in here that is just so fucking raw. Ice Cube, to me, is the best diss rapper of all time. He is the best diss rapper. lyrically, everything, because he has so many legendary diss tracks out there. So many of them. But this one, I believe, I could be wrong, this one was the first one that really let people know that he could diss motherfuckers whenever he feels like it, and you don't want those problems. You don't want those problems. He did a lot of anal disses. A lot of Easy-E wet in his ass and smelling his dick. His dick smells like Easy-E's ass and all this stuff that, I don't even feel like repeating, to be honest. But he just got on him in a way that was just so raw, disrespectful, as if he was never best friends with these guys. You know what I mean? Talk about yellow boys on your team so you're losing. Calling me Arnold, but you Benedict. Easy-E so your ass and winning it quick. It's crazy. It's crazy. This was after they had the little split because Jerry Heller, I believe was Jerry Heller, came and not forced them, but encouraged them to sign these contracts that make them officially a group. You guys saw the fucking movie. I don't have to tell you. But Ice Cube was the only one who was smart enough not to sign a contract and go do his own thing. Motherfuckers texting me. He was the only one smart enough to not sign a contract, go do his own thing, and start his own company and start making his own music without having to pay so much money or whatever the reason was he did that. You know what I mean? So, man, there's a lot of quotes in this one. This one is just... This one is just really, really fucked up, alright? So that's number 3. Now let's get to number 2. And number 2 happens to be the most popular diss track of all time. This is Tupac and the Outlaws with Hit 'Em Up. Tupac and the Outlaws with Hit 'Em Up wasn't only just a good diss track because it was disrespectful. Not only that, it was a great diss track also because it became very popular. It was a good song. This is probably the most well-known diss track in hip-hop history. Everybody knows this one. Every single person knows this one. And of course, he mentions having sex with Biggie's wife at the time, which there are some photos, and some people say he did, some people say he didn't. She said he didn't, but they did meet at a time in which Tupac and Biggie were having beef, and he referenced that. And in this song, even though this song was used to kind of escalate the whole East Coast versus West Coast thing, in this song, Tupac makes it clear who he has a problem with. He says names specifically. It's like, fuck you, fuck anybody who wants to be with them. He gets on it, he gets on all of them, and the Outlaws join him in its frenzy of this, all those motherfuckers we don't like. We'll go through the neighborhoods, we'll smash through Brooklyn, doing whatever the fuck we want because we don't like you motherfuckers. That's basically how it went down. So that's Tupac and the Outlaws, Hit 'Em Up. And that instrumental is some hot shit. I love the instrumental they use in that song. It's actually from a song way back in the day, like many years before that song came out. But that instrumental is pretty fucking hot. I think if you really hate a nigga and you want to make a diss track, you should make it to that instrumental because that instrumental is just fucking perfect for dissing motherfuckers. I don't know why I think that. So that's number 2. So what can be the most disrespectful diss track of all time? What can be? Well, if you watch my videos, you already know what I'm going to say. Well, the most disrespectful diss track, in my opinion, of all time is definitely Long Kiss Goodnight by the Notorious B.I.G. Now, I'm going to explain this one. I don't know how long it's going to take me, but I'm definitely going to explain it because I know a lot of people won't agree with it as of now. But I guarantee you, give me 2 minutes to explain why I believe it's the most disrespectful hip-hop track in history. Give me 2 minutes, then you will agree. Let's go. The main reason why Long Kiss Goodnight was the most disrespectful diss track in history was simply because it was released after the target in the song was dead. This song was released after Tupac was dead, dissing him. And not only that, even after Tupac was dead, Biggie was performing this live and on radio stations after Tupac was dead. There's many lines in this song that go after Tupac directly. Many lines in the song. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out the subliminals in here. You don't have to be a rocket scientist at all because he makes it pretty damn obvious. Let me give you some examples. I'm on the full lyrics right now. Let me give you guys some examples of how fucked up this shit is, alright? Now, in the song, Long Kiss Goodnight, he even uses the phrase, slugs missed ya. I ain't mad at ya. I ain't mad at ya was a name of a song that Tupac made. And he even threw that in there himself. And for people who don't believe, this track was released after Tupac was dead and written after Tupac was dead. I'll prove it right now. A short time after Tupac died, not got shot, but died. Within a month later, Biggie was in a car accident in which Lil Cease was driving the car, and the car flips whatever, and the Notorious B.I.G. was crippled. He made sure to put that in the song. You still tickle me, I used to be as strong as Ripple B till Lil C's crippled me. That's in the song, which goes to show this song was written, or at least partially written, after Tupac was killed. And there's more evidence in there. You know, slugs missed ya, I ain't mad at ya. All that stuff is right in there. So this is the most disrespectful rap track because the lyrics were made after the target died, and not only that, it was performed in the beloved city of that target after the death. He was being disrespected after he died, and no one allows that shit in hip hop. A lot of people believe, and I for one myself too believe, part of the reason Biggie was killed could have been because of that song and those lyrics and the interviews he were having a week before he died, dissing Tupac after Tupac was deceased. Definitely the most fucked up diss track in history. Hopefully no one ever makes that mistake again. I honestly believe if Biggie didn't stay in LA that longer than he should have, and didn't do those radio interviews, talking and using his freestyle, he would probably still be, no, I don't think he'd still be here. Somebody would have got him eventually, but he would have definitely lived longer, in my opinion. So that's basically it, y'all. Let me know what y'all think. My top 5 most disrespectful diss tracks in history. Number 1, definitely Long Kiss Goodnight. If you can find me any diss track that was on a major label, released after the person died, dissing them after they died, and performed in a beloved city of that rapper after they died, let me know. You won't find it. That was the only time that shit happened, and it was extremely fucked up. I mean, I love Biggie and all, but that was too much. He crossed the line. And I'm out, niggas. Later.